So 1.2, points, lines, and planes. The first problems, they give us a picture and they say to decide whether the statement is true or false based on that. So I'm going to draw the picture over here and then we'll reference it as we go through. So I have a line L and a line M, and then there are points on each of those, and E is this intersection point right here. So they're going to give us a statement, and then we're going to determine if it's true or false. So number 10, A, B, and C are collinear. So are A, B, and C all on the same line? Nope, so this would be false. "12, A, B, and C are coplanar." Yep. So that's just like, obviously there's just two lines just drawn on my paper. So that's, the plane is just the paper. So this would be true. 14, D, E, and B are collinear. Yep. So they're all on the same line. So this one would be true. And let me do 15. Doing an odd one. Point D lies on line M. So is point D on line M? Nope, so that is false. Questions on those? So just check the wording and then refer to the picture. You do not have to copy the picture over when you're doing your homework, but you do need to write down what the question was. Don't just write that it's true or false. Write it just like I'm doing. If you want the picture there for reference, if you go back to look at it later, you can have it, but you don't have to. All right, this next one, they give us a new picture, and then it says to name a point that is collinear with the given points. So this picture is going to be a little crazy. I'm just going to, I've got two lines going up and down. If you want to just reference it in your book, again, that's totally fine. Close enough. Alright, my picture's not exact, but it's close enough. Put the letters on here.
Go to the bathroom.
No. When I'm done teaching, you can. All right, so we have this picture here. Again, the picture in the book is much better than mine, but it says to name a point that is collinear with the given points. So they say G and K. Now, technically speaking, let me move K over here a little bit. K is technically supposed to be this point right here, but my picture's not good. So what other letter or what other point is on the line with G and K?
N.
Yep. 20. How about M and J? Again, this is technically intersecting here. My picture's bad.
F.
Yep. 22. K and H. Yeah, technically, this line is supposed to be intersecting. This is supposed to be, I'm just going to make it really giant point right there. So yes, K and H are supposed to be on the same line, so then F would also be on that line as well. 24. J and F.
M.
Yep. M. Aside from my picture being bad, are we tracking on these? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. You get-
But N isn't on G and K. Some of them, the other one.
Well, it's J and F. Technically, this is supposed to be point M right here. My picture's bad. The picture in the book is much easier to see. I'm just not artistically inclined, so. All right, the next one says, name 3 points in the diagram that are not collinear. So they give us a picture. And they are often using U and V in these things, and I know that a lot of times U and V look very similar. I try to really give my V's a good solid point, but if you ever can't tell, just ask. So I need 3 points that are not collinear, and there are multiple options. So we'll write down 1 or 2 options. So I need basically 3 letters that aren't all in line with each other. You can just say it.
V, T, R.
V, T, and R. What's another option?
R and Q?
RSU.
Oh, wait.
Nope. R, S, U are all on the same line. What does it mean for them to be collinear?
On the same line.
So, in order for me to have 3 points that aren't all on the same line, what letter would have to be included right now?
T.
So, any combination of 2 of these letters and T will work. So, yep, T, S, and U works. I could do,
RTU?
yep, RTU. So, I have lots of options here. I'm not going to write them all, but I have several options here. So just be aware too, I don't know if the back lists out all the answers when you're checking your work, but just be aware that there are different possible options sometimes. So if you are ever not sure, just come ask. All right, the next ones, they're going to draw a box for us. All right, there's my box. And there's the letters all on the box. They're at the corners. And it says to name a point that is coplanar with the given point. So it means on the same plane. So we have a few of these. 28, A, B, and C. What other point is on the same plane with those?
D.
Yep. How about 30? G, A, and D.
H.
Yep. So that's this front side of the box. 32. A, B, and H.
E.
Yep, it's the end over here. This one's a little harder. 34. A, B, and F.
C.
Nope.
E.
Nope.
H.
Nope.
You said the A, B, and L.
So we're looking at this one, and this one. So that means that I have to be looking at a plane that's going like this instead. So this one's just a little harder to visualize. So it has to be G. So just be aware that you can have a plane going that way. I could also have a plane C, D, E, and H going that way. I could have B, C, H, and G. Okay, those are all other options of planes that I could have that are like going at a slant through it. So it doesn't just have to be like the face of the box. It can be a slant plane going through it. Okay. Questions about those? 36, name all the points that are not coplanar with the given points. So there could be quite a few of these in here. Actually, let me draw the picture first. So I've got a smaller box this time, more of a cube. All right, so this one is K.
How are you drawing this? I can't draw that.
Well, one, I have magic paper, but I start out with like a box or like a square, and then I draw a line back, and then I connect them. And then I put dots through it to show where the box goes.
Still in bad,
I have magic paper that makes straight lines and things, so I can make most any shape that you want to see. So. All right, so we're finding points that are not coplanar with N, K, and L. So that means that it can't be on this top plane here. So what?
Q.
It's 1. 2 more. Q, R, P, and S. Those are all on a different plane. 38. P, Q, and N. Not P, R. Sorry, there's not a, no. There is a P. It's like, is there a typo? We do have a P. It's over here. P, Q, and N. So which points are not coplanar with P, Q, and N?
S.
S. What else?
L.
Yep. 2 more.
R.
Yep. 1 more.
N. K.
Okay. 42. Getting away from my box. 42, we've got P, S, and K. So notice again, just like that last chunk of problems we were looking at, this one is here to here. Okay? So it's that slant going through. So which 4 points are not on that slant part?
M.
R.
Two. One more.
L.
Yep. All right, questions on those before I move to the next thing? All right, complete the sentence. 44. Segment AB consists of endpoints A and B, and all the points on the line A to B that lie blank. So we have a line, and we have AB is the segment that is on the line with endpoints A and B, and all points on the line A to B that lie where? Might help if we see a picture. So I have my line, and then I have A to B.
In between.
Yep. Between A and B. So that's all you'd have to put. If I could spell. So all you have to do is fill in the blank with whatever, like, little phrase that fits there. So the segment AB consists of endpoints A and B and all the points on the line A to B that lie between A and B. Okay, so the segment is made up of all the points between that. 46. This one might be a little easier. Two rays or segments are collinear if they blank.
Are on the same line.
Yep. We would usually say lie on the same line, but if you said are on the same line, that would be fine. All right, the next ones require us to draw a picture. So 48, they tell us we're going to be sketching the line, segments, and rays based on what they tell us. So it says draw 4 points. So we're going to have J, K, L, and M. No 3 of which are collinear. So we can have 2 on the same line, but we can't have 3 on the same line. So what do you think that means about how I need to draw my points? How would you lay that out?
Do one on the line and then have another line or ray come off.
Well, so I should be clear. They're gonna tell us which rays and lines we're gonna be drawing, but just how would you position the points if they can't have any 3 are collinear? So can they all be like this? How about that? So what do I need to do to fix it?
Up.
So So I could take one and I can move it up here. It doesn't matter. I can have them. Basically, they just can't all be in a single line together. So I kind of need them in like a box or rectangular type shape. All right, so then they tell us that we are going to draw ray JK, segment KL, line LM, and ray MJ. Okay, so I need to give all of these a letter. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to do this, J, K, L, and M. All right, so J to K is a ray. It starts at J, so that's going to be going through like that. K to L is a segment, so that's just going through like that, stopping at those endpoints. L and M is a line, so that's going to be extending in both directions. And then M to J is a ray, so we start at M, we go through J, then arrow pointing in that direction. Okay, so your picture may look different than mine if you put your letters in a different spot, and that's okay. There's some options there. Draw 2 points X and Y, then sketch the line XY. Then it says to add a point W between X and Y so that ray WX and ray WY are opposite rays. All right, so I need to have points X and Y. And then I have a line going through those 2 points. So then it says add a point W between them. So that means I need that in there. And it basically needs to be approximately halfway between X and Y. Obviously, like I said the other day, I'm not going to get a ruler out and check. Okay? But I am going to look that it is, relatively speaking, centered between them because opposite rays have to be split. Okay? And they're going the opposite direction. All right, the next thing is another picture, but it's kind of different how they draw it. So this is like an actual picture from like a museum or something. Some artist did. And then they're going to ask us some questions about it. So it says fill in the blank with the appropriate response based on the points labeled in the photo. So 56, we have line AD and line AE intersect at blank. So where do AD and AE intersect? And they're going to be points, or a point. intersection.
Point B.
So I have this line right here, and I have this line right here. Where do those two things intersect at? A. 58. Plane ABC and plane DCG intersect at. So planes intersect in a line, lines intersect at a point. So I need which line these intersect at. So I've got ABC, so that's in here. And then I've got DCG, so that's this one. So what line do those two planes intersect at?
DC.
Yep, DC. And I would want to put the line marking over it. Alright, our last ones are to sketch a figure. Sometimes these can be a little bit challenging just because of trying to draw things that are not two-dimensional on a two-dimensional piece of paper. So 62 says two lines that lie in a plane but do not intersect. So I need to draw a plane. So I'm just going to draw a rectangle. And then I have two lines that don't intersect. Well, what kind of lines don't intersect? Anybody remember the name of them?
Parallel.
Yep, parallel lines. So I could draw them both going this way. I could draw them both going up and down. They just can't intersect in there. '64. Three lines that intersect in a point but do not all lie in the same plane. Alright, so for them to not all be in the same plane, that means that they can't all be like just intersecting. Like I couldn't just take and like throw a line through here on my previous one because it would be going the same way. So I would say do something like this where I have a line going this way. I've got a line going this way. Okay, pretending like that's our piece of paper there, and then I'm going to draw the other one with another color just so we can see it. And then another one that's like going through it but going up. Okay, so kind of like it's hard to see in a piece of paper, but basically I have a line going this way on my paper, a line going this way on my paper, and then one coming straight through it. Okay, they're all intersecting in one spot, but they're not all in the same plane. I can have two in the same plane, which are my blue lines, and then my red line is still going through, but it's not on the same plane. Okay, so that's why I said they're kind of hard to see on paper sometimes. So I don't get like crazy picky about it. Another way I could have drawn it just so that we could see it a little easier is I could have actually drawn a like plane and then shown that the other one's going through. So again, just do your best as you're like drawing the pictures and stuff. All right, any questions on that? All right, problems 9, 13, 16, 17, 21, 25, 31, 35, 39, 43, 45, 47, 49, 53, 57, 59, 61, 63, 65, and 67. Those are due tomorrow.